All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. Let me know how I sound. I don't have my iPad with me today, or tonight, rather, sorry. Okay, 5 by 5. Very good. Okay, good. Thank you for that, red beard. Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you, guys. All right. So, Escape from Babylon. Same old shit, different day, man. Same old shit. Guys, so today's live stream, I was actually hanging out on Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival's live stream, and he was talking about the bug out bag weekend that just passed. Matter of fact, so it was a good weekend. It was more relaxing than anything. It turned into a gear testing weekend, right? So it was initially supposed to be a bug out bag, living out your bag, but a lot of people bought new gear out to test it out. So someone says I look stressed. I'm not stressed. I'm just tired. Had a shitty night's sleep last night, and yeah, I just because my wife was like, "You got bags under your eyes," so whatever. Doctor D 5 by 5 is loud and clear. It's like I guess it's a radio term that military or law enforcement uses to make sure that they're clear. 5 by 5 is just like a standard, loud and clear, if that makes sense. So anyway, with that, guys, okay, Bella Hayes, thank you for that, Bella Hayes. Yeah, so guys, I am going to talk about a donation to Autism Walk that Bella Hayes is, I guess she's a part of. If I'm not mistaken, I think one of her kids has autism, and she was asking if I would push this donation, or rather this walk. So I've been looking into it for the last couple of days because I just didn't want to go out there and be like, "Hey guys, donate into such and such." So it's not a scam. It's legit. So I'm going to drop the link in the description section, and you guys donate what you can if you want. Um, it's for a good cause, guys. And speaking on autism, real quick. I've known enough people who were, I guess, affected by autism, rather having kids that were autistic. So when you look at the people who have kids who are autistic, they go through a tremendous amount of stress with these kids, and some kids are really severe, and they will never ever be without some kind of guidance or parental person over them, and then some are not as severe and can function in society. But I've known at least three families, if you will, that suffered from this. Pinch runner, I would say, yeah. Apartment prepper. Sorry to hear that. So, guys, give what you can if you can at all. And yes, David, thank you for pointing it out. A lot of them do end up in divorces. Yes. So those couples who actually hang on, uh, good for you guys. So anyway, guys, back to the topic at hand. So tonight's topic was going to be about, or rather is, about who will survive, and we're talking about the whatever's headed our way. Then we're going to talk about what the Shanghai officials have done to their own people. We're going to get into that in a little bit. We're going to talk about the beef recall that just happened earlier today. And we're going to talk about the subtle warning that the Goya CEO made earlier today as well. So there's a lot to cover tonight. So we're just going to try to get through it. And when we're done, you can ask all the questions you want. Um, Sleuthy TV. Sorry to hear that. So again, guys, the donations is entirely up to you. All I can do is share it, and hopefully you guys give. Um, yeah. So sorry about that, guys. So we're talking about tonight. We're talking about who will survive, right? Who's going to fare better in the bullshit. who's going to fare better in the whatever's coming this way, right? I mean, listen, guys, as of right now, again, according to every news source, social media page, YouTube channel, we were supposed to end 8 times over. Bella Hayes, no problem. We were supposed to end 8 times over, right, guys? According to certain channels, this shit's gonna hit the fan any second now for the last year and a half. So, with that being said, guys, talking about who's going to survive whatever's coming, we don't know what the fuck it is. We don't know exactly what it is. There's people on here in the comment section that's going to sit there and say, oh, I know exactly what's going to happen. No, the fuck you don't. You really don't know what's going on. So, with that, guys, since we don't know exactly what's going to happen, or rather we have a perfect storm of situations forming that's going to turn into one big clusterfuck, yeah, who's going to survive out of the prepper community? Now, guys, yeah, Outlaw Jackson, exactly. The red alerts and the oh my gods. And thank you for joining me tonight, by the way, Outlaw. Some of you might know who Outlaw Jackson is. He is, not was, a big two-way movement guy. Some of you know who he is, and for those of you that don't, it's a little harder to explain. But he's a very well-rounded older guy that you want to hang around. That's the best way I can put it. So, guys, with that, Stacey Cole, man-made or environmental, it doesn't matter, right? Whatever's coming this way, it's probably going to be a mixture of both. You want to call it environmental because we have the climate change, or rather the earth changing, and there's a lot of shit coming out of that or headed our way. And then you have the man-made issues that keep popping up on a, I don't know, time clock. So, hopefully I'm not buffering too bad, Yarn Prepper. But with that, if I am, let me shut down a couple of things. Just in case. Lori Q. Yes, Lori Q, older. But, no, I'm not going to go there. But yes, older people. The older people make up the prepper community, believe it or not. I mean, if there's a question I have about something being done, I'm going to ask somebody older who's lived through an era where they used to do it, or that's been doing it longer than me, like Old Mutt. Old Mutt's been doing, is one of my older prepper buddies who has been doing shit for a long time. So, you go to older people to ask them questions. I'm not going to go to a younger dude to ask him some shit that I can go to an older person for. So, all right, thank you, Young Prepper. Anyway, guys, with that, most of us might be prepared for what's coming, but how many of us will survive? That's the bigger question, right? So now, guys, here, what's going on, Pinball? Thank you for joining me tonight. We know, guys, a lot of us know, right, that most of the normies, if you will, the unprepared, however you want to call them, we think, or rather know, that most of them are not going to make it through whatever's going to happen. They're not going to fare well. Maybe they have a prepper friend that will bring them into the fold, but most of them are going to be lost. Most of them are going to be waiting for the government to help. So, with that, guys, a lot of them are going to wind up fucking perishing, dying, disappearing. Kaput, whatever you want to put it. They're done. This is something that every prepper should be examining, guys. It's something for a lot of us to sit here and go, well, I got enough food for 5 years, right? Let's just say, give or take, 2 years, more realistic. So a lot of us are sitting here and we're like, well, I got food for 2 years. I should be okay. Okay, how are you going to protect that food? What are you going to do, especially if you live in the city? What are you going to do if there is a fire in your building? What are you going to do if there are people starving and kids that are starving? What are you going to do? So, with that, guys, you have to entertain all of these questions. You have to war game the shit out of your plan. And that's pretty much what you got to do. You got to sit there and you got to go, all right, what if this happens? Okay, I could do this. What if that happens? All right, I could do that. What if this happens? If something stumps you, you have to figure that out before it happens. And I know, guys, it's hard to do. But I mean, we have right now, we have time. You don't want to do this during the middle of this shit. You want to get as much as you possibly can. You want to get extra supplies of anything you might need before the hammer drops, right? So again, someone just said, "Oh, frugal fixer." She said, "Food will eventually run out." That's what I keep hearing. But for who, right? For us, for the world, for the unprepared, right? That's again something to think about. Now, if you think along the lines of frugal fixer that food will eventually run out, well, then you're going to get as much as you possibly can to keep yourself out of that situation. Guys, remember this. Whatever happens next, it is not going to be forever. It'll probably be for a few years, but it's not going to be forever. Humanity will eventually bounce back. We have in the past, and this is not any different. Now, I was watching a YouTube channel, and they were saying that in this day and age, what's going on right now is unprecedented. We haven't seen anything like this. We've seen situations like this, and I would say I would look back at the Black Plague. I would look back at the Great Depression. I would look back at all of these planet-changing events that happened in the past. We were decimated, and then we bounced back. Humanity will always bounce back. Who lives, that's the difference, guys. So, some people will sit there and say, well, they're going to make, the elites, will make life harder for us every step of the way. I don't know. I'm not, that could be a possibility. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. But we know, guys, that whatever is coming our way, we have to get ready for. And we are paying attention, us here in this little circle, if you will. We're paying attention. The normies are not. Now, some normies are starting to pay attention. They're looking at shit and going, whoa, this is getting out of hand. This is crazy, right? So sorry guys, trying to read the chat and talk at the same time. It's like chewing gum and walking. So anyway, guys, we're definitely, going to have to war game ourselves out of every situation we possibly can, especially being that there's no cops, there's no firemen, there's no garbage men, there's no doctors, there probably won't be any, dentists. We have to war game all of this. Now, Sarita, not on a global scale, the Black Plague, a couple of pandemics, if you will, real ones, if you will, they were on a global scale. It did take a while to get around the planet, but nonetheless it did. And again, it decimated humanity, right? We've had enough times in our human existence that we have been through some hardships and we've gotten through it, right? There was even, if I'm not mistaken, what they would call the Dark Ages was due to what some think was a volcanic eruption that darkened the skies and destroyed crops around the world, right? So whatever tribe was on the other side of the planet, whatever society was on that side of the planet, they were hit hard and starvation hit. Yet the human race kept going, right? So, to say that, this is unprecedented, yes, what we have going on is unprecedented, but the human race has seen this kind of catastrophe before, right? And when I'm talking about an apocalyptic style catastrophe, if you will. Sorry. Now, with that, guys, you're going to need a couple things to get through this and to war game yourself out of this whole thing, right? Yarn Prepper, I'm going to put it back in the chat real quick. So keep an eye out for it. That's the link to the autism walk. Right, so guys, you're going to need a couple things to make it through this. You're going to need survival attitude. And with survival attitude, you're going to need three things, right? You're going to need survival readiness, mental readiness, and problem solving. Survival readiness, guys, you're going to, again, try to think of every scenario, situation you possibly can to help you survive. In some cases, if you have a farm, if you have a house where you can garden, you're going to start gardening and you're going to start growing your own food. And if you have livestock, you're probably going to start breeding and prepping your own food from scratch. That's the survival aspect of it. And then having just survival skills, guys, it's going to go a long way. Homesteading skills are going to go a long way. Mental readiness. This is where this is a little harder to tell you guys, including myself, that you need to get ready for this mentally because each person's mental capacity is different, right? Mental toughness is one thing. Dealing with what you're going to see is going to be the bigger issue. Us are probably going to see some horrible, nightmarish shit, guys, that we are going. First of all, we're probably not going to comprehend. At least most of us are not going to comprehend it. You're not going to be. A lot of you guys are not going to be able to comprehend half the shit you're going to see, or hear, for that matter, right? And that's going to be the make it or break it moment for you when you see some shit that you can't unsee. When you see something or hear something you can't unhear. Little lone prepper, right? You have to, guys. You're gonna have to dig deep and push past whatever the fuck you might see, right? This isn't a movie. This is not The Walking Dead. Most of us, or ladies, you guys are not Carol, and most guys, you're not Rick. You know, you're gonna see some shit and it's gonna fuck with your head, especially if it happens to your family. With that, guys, the mental readiness or toughness is going to take a lot because a lot of us have never been in that boat, and some of us have been in that boat. But how much can can the mind take before it breaks, right? So, yes, Elizabeth G, if you lose a loved one, right? So the mental readiness, guys, is going to be the hard one because I could tell you today, you know, join a program that teaches you how to deal with high stress situations. There's a big difference between high stress situations and dealing with death. Two different things. And people just don't get it. I've understood it through my years in EMS and watching numerous people die, watching loved ones like snap just because someone that they knew was dying, knew. They saw this coming. They saw this from a mile away. And they still reacted this way. They still threw themselves on the ground, threw themselves on the body, crying hysterically, screaming in the hallway, like all of these things. And they knew that person was going to die, and they still reacted that way. So now imagine the horrible, horrifying things we're going to see. That could break you. That could ultimately break you to the point where you might commit suicide, right? Your entire mindset could change because you see these things. Taking it okay, yeah, Rican Beans. I like that name, by the way. Yeah, The Walking Dead does show the reality of bad guys taking your crap, but there's a lot of shit that show can't show you. There's a lot of shit that show cannot show you for the sake of, I guess, the FCC, I think it is, right? Well, they can't show you certain things, but there's going to be things, again, people will not be able to comprehend. And then, then there's the other side of the coin, taking a life. Can you do it? Can you actually pull the trigger when the time comes? It gets bad. Daniel Russo, yes, exactly. Black Summer deals with the human experience more than the zombies, and I like the way the show's covered, by the way. Fear not. Sorry to hear that. She died. And yeah, guys, again, it's a entirely different ball game when you know someone's passed away. Sorry, family passed away. So again, mental readiness, guys, mental toughness, mental preparedness, guys. That is something you're going to have to consider. And if you start thinking about it now, and you start crying yourself to sleep every night between now and to when the shit happens, maybe you're toughening yourself up a little more. Maybe, but who knows? When it actually happens, guys, it's a different ball game altogether, right? Yeah. So Vancity Prepper, listen, I've watched my share of people die, and I have no emotions to it. I don't, I don't look. I mean, unless it's a kid, I don't have emotions to it. Especially if it's an older person. If the person's like 80 years old, I'm like, Godspeed. You fucking lived your life and you're gone. Um, you know. But if you watch somebody younger die, you're sort of rooting for them to come back when you're doing everything you can to bring them back. It's weird. Like you're hoping they come back. They're not, but you're hoping they are. But me personally, I have an off switch, and that's how it's been since I was in EMS. Leaping prep. Yes, I don't read the Bible, but if that's what the Bible says, then yeah, A lot of men are going to fail. And Tomer, God, is that your name? It's not Tommy. What's up, Bakari? And Tomer, yeah, that's the other thing. That's the horrible things we're going to see. The cannibalism. Cannibalism is something else you're going to see. Can you deal with that? You know, again, guys, it's bad. You know, the shit we're going to see is going to be bad. But that's something that you're going to have to deal with. You're going to have to get your fucking mind around it. As simple as that, man. Yeah, not that it's as simple as that. It's easy for me to say. I've done it. It's not easy for many to do. But then again, I also haven't lost a child. So, you know, again, part talking shit, part experiencing what I've experienced, you know? Yes, prepping outside the box, exactly. Now, here's another problem. Here's another thing or survival attitude, rather, that you need to have. This is most important. Mental readiness, mental toughness is very important, but you need to have problem solving skills. No social dilemma. I haven't eaten people yet. Not that I would either. I would probably die in that hill too. But then again, and I have starved a couple times. Outlaw Jackson, yes, I've become desensitized. And you know why I became desensitized? My father, he fucking called it, man. Growing up in the 80s, we watched all those fucking horror films and all those death movies. And we watched these set of tapes called Faces of Death. And we watched all of these, me and my brother growing up, we watched all of this shit and we became desensitized. So when we saw it in person, or rather when I saw it in person in EMS and I saw my first, like, you know, limb ripped off a body, I was like, oh shit, there goes the guy's leg. You know, like, it wasn't like, oh my God, and I wasn't flipping out. I was just like, all right, and I knew what I had to do. It's just interesting how my father was right. We were desensitized because of fucking movies. You know, and I guess it helps because, guys, there is a balance. I'm not desensitized to the point where I don't have feelings, but you know, but I just don't look at it the way most people don't. I don't throw up when I see blood or fucking guts on the road or a fucking person's head smashed. It just doesn't, you know, that just doesn't happen to me. Again, probably being desensitized. Humble Lion says a lot of us black people are desensitized, believe it or not. Yeah, I would say so. But you know, Michelle the Great, thank you for joining us, by the way, at Hudson Valley Prepping and Survivals weekend. But she says she can't sleep. Hey, listen, and I'm not trying to sit here and, uh, you know, what's going on, Jewish Redneck Prepper? That's a first. Thank you for joining us tonight. But, you know, I'm not trying to sit here, guys, and be like I'm invincible to a lot of shit. I'm just, there's certain things that just doesn't bother me, and there's certain things that might make me flip out, but I won't know. 15 Hearts. Yeah, there's, you're going to experience monsters out there. Guys, there are monsters out there now. Right? And then there are monsters out there now. I mean, you see some of the shit that people do to one another that the media will not report. If you look online and you look at like death sites and shit like that, um, you look at these things. You're like, who the fuck sat there and did this to this person? There are monsters out there. There are people out there who are willing to do the fucking shit to you just because. Maybe they get a kick out of it. Maybe they want something from you. Maybe they're hungry. Who the fuck knows? But the horrendous things that are out there, a lot of people just aren't aware of. Now, again, if you're one of those preppers that don't think these monsters are out there, you're one of those that are probably not going to survive. If you don't have the survival readiness or mental toughness, you're most likely not going to survive. Not saying you won't at all, but you're most likely, you know, you're most likely, sorry. I'm not saying that you won't survive. I'm just saying the likeliness of you survival lowers, lessens, sorry. So, problem solving, guys. You're going to have to problem solve everything that happens because there won't be anybody to fix your problems, right? You're not going to call the plumber up if your fucking pipes get clogged. You're not going to call the electrician if your power goes out because you're running your generators or your solar generator or even your solar panels in your roof and something happens. You're going to need to know how to fix that on your own. You're going to need to know how to troubleshoot. So, guys, problem solving is huge and you have to be smart about it. You can't just put chewing gum on a wire and hope it holds. You know what I mean? So having these extra supplies or scouting for these extra supplies and also knowing what you're doing. When it comes to electricity, that is super dangerous. And when you're talking about solar panels and shit, that's extremely dangerous, right? So there's gonna be a certain time, guys, where you're just gonna call it quits. You're gonna be like, fuck it, I don't know how to fix that. Would it be in your better interest to learn how to fix it? Absolutely. If you have solar panels on your roof, you should absolutely learn how to fix your own problems when they happen. That means going to a course and taking that course, right? Going to an EMT course or a first aid course, learning how to fix yourself up or somebody else up, getting a medical book and just thumbing through it and reading through it, guys. This is how you're going to fix a lot of your problems, knowing a lot of this stuff in the back of your head. Vancity Prepper, right? For those of you that don't know who she is, I interviewed her a couple of weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, rather. Sorry. And she went through medic school because she ended up out alone by herself and her crew often enough. Meaning they went in the middle of nowhere and they were kicking rocks and shit over, right? And if something happened to one of them, she had to use that medical skill to help one of them out. So these are things that people actually done to better their situation. Now, I went to EMT school and I looked at it as, well, fuck, if something happens at home, now I can control the situation a little better till I get to the hospital, right? So everybody should absolutely pick up some kind of a skill that's going to better themselves and their situation in the shit hits the fan scenario. Do not look clean and yes. 15 Heart says, do not look clean and the shit hits the fan. Absolutely. Look dirty. Smell like shit. I don't care. Smell like spam. People stay away from you. Smell like that shit. And yes, Conmura, I'll be getting out of New York soon. Looks like they're going to be dropping that hammer on the mask again later this year. So, Princess Colleen, I say the F word, or rather, I say fuck because it's my channel. I do what I want, right? I know a lot of people are not accustomed to cursing because so many of the YouTube channels are, nice. They don't want to curse. They're trying to be cordial. They're also trying to not to get demonetized. But in this channel, we don't give a fuck. That's why we say it. Anyway, moving right along. Guys, arrogance will get you killed. Without a doubt. If you think you know it all, you are dead. If you are one of those people that sit there and go, fuck, I know everything. I got it all under control. You're dead. You're as good as dead. Sorry. It's just as simple as that. Arrogance will kill you. Know-it-all. The know-it-all attitude will get you killed, hands down. Weakness will get you killed. If you are a pussy or a, hipster, you're dead. You're as good as dead. You have to fucking grow a pair of balls. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to grow a pair of balls when this shit is on. It's just what it's got to be. There is no weakness in the shit hits the fan scenario. Zero. Prep Rebel, thank you for the donation. Appreciate that. So, guys, indecisiveness might get you killed. Now, if you're indecisive in a moment when you don't need to be indecisive, you can get yourself killed, or you can let something happen and get too far away from you because you're so indecisive. That's what I've learned just watching people in certain situations be indecisive with shit, and then the situation gets worse because they sat there thinking about it too much. You're sitting there going, well, should I or shouldn't I kill that dude? What should I do? And then before you know it, the dude got away from you, and he comes back with a band of dudes. The fucking deer you were looking to shoot, and that was the first deer you saw in 3 weeks, but you were so indecisive about shooting him, you fucking lost the chance to kill him. And there goes your food running away, right? So indecisiveness might kill you. Not saying it will, but it might. Guys, it's the who will survive is definitely something we need to think about. Am I going to survive? That's what you need to ask yourself. I should have led with that. I should have started out with that. Sorry. Shannon, yes, I'm going to live stream on Friday. No, I'm live streaming on Thursday with Angry Homesteader. So I'll be live streaming with her Thursday night. Friday night, I'm going to reserve it for the family because the wife has read me the Riot Act a couple times about live streaming on a Friday night. So, with that, guys, You have to make decisions, and you have to make them fast, and you have to move with a purpose with those decisions. That's why you can't be indecisive, right? So if you have a purpose and you make the decision, then make the decision. If you're gonna shoot somebody in the back, shoot them in the back. If you're gonna shoot that deer, shoot that deer. Make a decisive decision, guys. So it comes down to, and then listen, guys, it's okay right now to be indecisive. It really is. You be like, do I want Five Guys or do I want In and Out burgers? Like that's indecisive shit that we can afford now, but you can't afford it when the shit is on. Absolutely not. With that, guys, those who are truly ready to accept what might be coming will make out in the long run. Meaning, and I wrote this, so I'm reading it like somebody else wrote it. Uh, those who truly know what's coming, those who truly accept what is coming, you are going to fare better because you already know that whatever's coming is going to be so bad that you actually war game the shit out of it already, and that you already know that if it gets super bad, I can handle X, Y, and Z. You can also um, add to that by saying, if there's going to be a fire in your house, I'm going to simplify it, sorry. If there's going to be a fire in your house, you know what to do already, right? You know that you got to get the family out. You know that you might have to come back in and fight the fire until the firemen come back, or leave the fucking apartment altogether or the house altogether until the firemen get there. But that was a plan that you already had in motion. We all do. Every last one of us does. Growing up, we're told, lay low, get out of the smoke environment, get outside, and wait for help. Right? Now, you are by yourself. This is a shit hits the fan scenario, guys. We are already going to fare better because we understand what's coming and or what might be coming, and we're sort of ready for it mentally. Most of us. Again, some of us might not be because we might be underscoring this. But if you truly accept what's coming, you'll be fine. Michelle the Great. Yes, fire extinguishers are good preps. But you know what else is good preps? Fire safety. No candles in the house. And if you have candles, make sure you have some kind of water or bucket nearby to douse that candle in case it gets out of control. If you're going to have a candle, make sure you put the candle on a table that doesn't have a cloth. Little things like that. When you're sleeping at night, turn the candles out, right? Just assuming there's no power. Make sure that you don't have candles in a fucking barn. That's a dumbass idea. I don't know how many people lost a barn back in the days because of that shit. The lantern fell and fucking they went the barn. Right? So you just gotta be super smart and super careful when it comes to fires because you'll fucking find yourself outside, right? If you burn your home down. So these are just little things that you should think about. Now, moving right the fuck along, we are 34 minutes in. For those of you that don't mind, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down or whatever floats your boat. I can care less if you hit the thumbs down. Or the thumbs up, but just hit it and helps out with the algorithm. Patty, yes, oil lamps are good, but again, you still have to be careful with them, right? You just gotta mind it. That's all. Just mind it, right? Not saying light the candle a little lamp and stare at it, make sure it doesn't fall over. No, just mind it. That's all you do. And also the other thing too, guys, is to minimize the use of candles. Try to do everything during the daylight. Right? Unfortunately, when winter comes and the nights are a little longer, that's where you deal with it. I mean, and then again, have a candle in a safe spot. Don't have fucking 18 candles all over the fucking house, Bob Fuqua said, you're not going to be able to in a rural area. Deer hunting, he's talking about. Go deer hunting. The deer belong to the people already there. The deer belongs to nobody, Bob. Belongs to whoever fucking kills it and whoever gets it first. That my area bullshit is fucking, especially during the shit hits the fan scenario, doesn't exist. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to respect the area I'm in, especially if I'm in the back countries of fucking West Virginia, but I'm also not going to sit there and not shoot a deer because it belongs to the people. Fuck that shit. You got people fucking killing, maiming, and doing for a lot less. I'm killing this deer to feed my family. That's all there is to it. where I'm not going to play that game with them. Oh, is this your deer because you're in West Virginia? Fuck that bullshit. And yes, in the boonies, deers will be gone quick. Listen, a lot of animals are going to go into hiding, to be fair, because everybody's going to try to trample their way to the woods and get food. And a lot of the animals are going to be scared further into the forest. So you also have to deal with that, right? For those of you that live on land, live on property, live in the middle of the woods, you might have fucking animals coming up your way, or you might have animals nowhere around you because people are fucking, too many people have come up and hunted and scared them away. Bob Fuqua, they might run me out of there. They might not. I might be quicker than them. They might be faster than me. It might be their area. Listen, there's a lot to be said about, like the people knowing the land in rural areas. I've seen enough people win fights that they shouldn't have won in certain areas, right? So again, when it comes to hunting, it is what it is. If I see the fucking deer first, it's mine. Right? I'm not going to sit there and go, oh my God, it belongs to those yokels with the cross-eyed over there. Fuck that shit. So we're not going to fucking play that game. Rooted, yes, the deer zombie disease is a real disease, but is it underreported? I don't know. I mean, there's not a lot of hunters here in New York, so they don't talk about it. Rage in the Cage says he drinks scotch and eats raw garlic every day. The apocalypse is scared of him. Okay. So, anyway, guys, moving right along. What we're going to talk about next, is what's happening in Shanghai. Now, I did a video, right? A couple of videos, if you will, sorry, about the government giving you the food they want you to eat. And with that, I did say in the video, I mentioned something about having to get a chip so that the government could, feed you and all that other shit. But nonetheless, right down to the point where the government's going to give you the food they want you to eat. That being said, in Shanghai, residents are getting diarrhea and stomach pain after eating food rations that were handed out to them by the officials of Shanghai. Some Shanghai residents claim they felt sick after eating the food distributed by local authorities during the city's lockdown. Some said they suffered diarrhea after eating braised duck and meatballs that were issued. Obviously, it was bad and it was old. The government let that shit sit there for days before handing it out to the people. Now, one resident said she vomited after opening up a package of braised ducks. She said the legs were rotten. She puked all over the place. She said she puked 3 times to be exact. She said the smell of the duck filled her apartment, pretty much. And she puked up to 3 times because of that. Guys, again, these idiots, the Shanghai officials, were probably, I'm going to be nice with the Shanghai government for once and sit there and say that they had this food ready to give out to the residents. But they were probably trying to figure out how they were going to give it out to them. And they were probably trying to fucking figure out how much they were going to give. And while they were figuring all of this out, the food went bad. And they knew the food went bad because you can smell that even through a plastic bag. Rotten food, guys, in a plastic bag in the back of a truck smells to fucking high hell. Still, they gave it out. And thank you, Pinball Preparedness. He says, does anyone still think the government cares about you? We've always said this, guys. The government doesn't care about the people, no matter how much bullshit they talk. We have seen the Chinese president state how much he cares for the Chinese people. And look how they treat their own people. We have watched the Russian president, sit there and say how much he cares for the Russian people. And people believe it like assholes, but he doesn't. The United States, another one. They are on TV constantly. Every politician, I care about my constituents. And they continually fuck us in the ass every chance they get with something called taxes. So, guys, the Shanghai government can care less about their people. They're seeing it. And not only that, the Chinese government doesn't care. So, guys, for anyone still thinking that the government is your friend and is going to help, I don't know what to fucking tell you. There's plenty of evidence that they're not going to help. especially here in the United States. We've seen past hurricanes and incidents before where the government was late to the game. Granted, I know they got to get their shit together and they got to get the fucking band back and the party and all this other bullshit, and everybody's got to make agreements and handshakes and high fives before they go help people. But still, waiting on them is what's happening here in Shanghai. The people are waiting on them like docile idiots. Now, listen, guys, one side of me, the bad side of me, is saying that these people in Shanghai are getting what they allowed to happen. The people of Shanghai allowed this to happen. The other side of me is I do feel bad for them because they're docile idiots. And they need some fucking kind of help. But again, what help are they going to get when there's no one fucking on their side? And anyone who speaks out against the Chinese government gets the fucking kibosh and gets thrown in jail. Or wherever the fuck they throw them. So, guys, the packages, they said, have come under scrutiny after some residents claim they received expired and rotten items. Now, there is a picture. I'm going to put it up tomorrow morning on the Wednesday morning midweek report. I'm going to talk about this again. But I'm going to show a picture as to what the fucking back of that truck looked like. And looking at the bags of food, I'm like, yo, that's bad. That looks bad. And I'm pretty sure, guys, again, you open up the truck, it smells of all high hell. So now, why would you even wait online at that point? You know, why would you fucking wait online at that point? Again. Yeah, China's to blame, but I'm going to blame the people, because the people allowed this bullshit to happen. You know, I mean, listen, everyone stands up, few thousand of them are going to die, but nonetheless, if they stood up and stood their ground, they would fucking make a change. There's enough people in China to make that change. I don't know why they're not fucking, listening or doing what they're supposed to do. But they want to completely rely on the government all the time and then cry about it on TikTok or their version of TikTok. Listen, all of the people of Shanghai right now can go downstairs and start whipping the fucking city officials and police officers in Shanghai. Go ahead. Come on. The dog always wants to come and whatever. He's laying down. You okay? He wants to lay down on the couch. And the couch that, by the way, when we first got it, the dog is never getting on that couch. We're not going to allow him on the couch. I looked at my wife and I go, yeah, right. That's not going to happen. So here he is making himself a home on the couch. Whatever. We lost that fight a long time ago. Anyway. So, guys, the issue right now is low-quality food rations had added to the frustration of residents who are already struggling to obtain food. We know that a lot of the people are starving. And, again, this shit was on them. But, whatever, guys. It's on them. We know that the people of China, or rather the people of Shanghai, are starving, but they put themselves in that boat. Anyway. On Monday, Shanghai reached 1,600 symptomatic cases and 15,000 asymptomatic cases. I don't know what that means when they talked about symptomatic cases, unless they're talking about the COVID cases, because I was a little confused by it. I'm like, how the fuck did they know they have 15,000 asymptomatic food poisoning cases? There's no such thing. Either you're symptomatic or you're not. So I'm pretty sure they were talking about COVID. But now they're up to 1,000, they're up to 1,600 symptomatic COVID cases and 15,000 asymptomatic cases. That means they're still actively testing people. So again, fucking weird. Also, guys, moving right the fuck along. Oh, we got 15 minutes left, so we're running just about on time. Approximately 60 tons or 70 tons of beef was recalled because of the possibility of E. coli contamination. So, no one's gotten sick so far from what I've read, but it's the possibility of E. coli contamination. Guys, that just sounds fucking strange. Either it's contaminated or not. Either somebody's sick or they aren't. It's actually 1,000. Sorry, it's 1,000. Oh my God. 120,872 pounds of ground beef has been recalled. Here's the problem with this recall, guys. The beef was produced back February 1st to April 8th. It's already April 26th. The recall came earlier today. What the fuck? Why even bother reporting it? Now they're saying that the Lakeside Refrigerator Service in Sweetboro, New Jersey, probably said that wrong, announced Monday that this recalling its beef after a problem was discovered after routine testing of imported products produced from February 1st to April 8th. Routine testing. So that means to tell me you put the meat out on the market, you ship it out, you let it get on the trucks, you let it get in the supermarket, and then you continue to test it just to turn around and recall it? That doesn't make any sense to me. So they could have had a bad batch in that testing. That doesn't mean it got out there. Follow him. Yeah, just type in fucking recalled beef today, and it'll show you this article will pop up. I think I got this from Business Insider, and it was like a small article like that. It wasn't fucking, wasn't a lot. But anyway, so I mean, guys, again, I don't work in the meat industry, so I don't know. Do they really test beef that much? I guess, but well after it's already hit the market and on people's dinner tables and in their stomachs, now you're talking about fucking E. coli. Like it's a bit late. It at that point, I'd have been like, all right, guys, you know what? We can't do anything about it. Half of America already ate this shit, so it's done. But whatever. That's me. I think that recalling it now after it's already fucking been out there is a little fucking too late. But whatever. Moving right along, guys. So, with that, Goya CEO warns that there will be a we're on the brink, of a food crisis. Now, we already know this. We heard this 1,000 times. But when the Goya CEO starts speaking up, or when other CEOs of different food companies start saying this, guys, that means that there's something to be heard, or rather that we should be listening. When these people who are in the industry, who get these daily reports on where they're getting their next shipment of whatever it is to make that canned goods, right? So Goya is a canned good company. And they get like beans and all these other things from like all over the world, pretty much, not just here in the United States or South America or Central America. They get it from all over the world. So now they're getting all these reports, and these reports are telling them that they're probably getting less shipment of this by this date. They're getting less shipment of that by that date. So when these guys start speaking out, this is something that we should be listening to, which is these people here, CEOs of these food businesses. Now, he says we're on the precipice of a global food crisis, and that price increases were widespread. Energy prices rose to 11% in March, 32% last year. From last year to now, 32%. Gasoline average costs went up 48%. And if I'm not mistaken, last year it rose 18% in March. And then he also blames the Russia and Ukraine for fueling such increases in oil prices as well. There's also, if I'm not mistaken, a shortage, or going to be a shortage on, I forgot what oil it was. Sunflower oil. So sunflower oil is going to be cut back very soon, guys. So he says, let's go. Food prices have also climbed 8% higher over the year and 1% over the month. The largest increase in cereal and baked products was 10%, poultry, fish, and meat 13%, fresh fruits and vegetables 8%, and fresh fruits and vegetables are going to go up because of that stupid disease they found, and eggs went up 11%. So there was an increase right across the board, guys. The Russia and Ukraine account for around 29% of global wheat exports, 19% of global corn supply, and 80% of the world's sunflower oil export. I don't use sunflower oil, so whatever. This reliance has many traders worried that any future military force would trigger a massive scramble by food importers to replace supplies normally sourced from the Black Sea region. Now, this should be a lesson to the United States government and every world's government. Stop relying on other countries to fucking supply you for their food. We should not be fucking looking to the Ukraine and Russia for our wheat, our corn, or fucking sunflower oil. We shouldn't. Now, I know that our corn comes from here because it's, genetically modified by Monsanto, but we also have fucking, we get most of our wheat actually comes from Canada, right? But still, these world governments should not be relying on other countries to supply them their food. That is the kiss of death. Because now we're in this scenario with this fucking war bullshit going on, and now people are going to be feeling it on the other end. People who have nothing to do with this are possibly, by year's end, going to be starving. This is why, guys, we should, all of us, we should stop with this bullshit. We should stop getting exports and imports and all this other shit. We should grow what the fuck we eat here. We shouldn't be shipping out chicken to China so it can come back here packaged. We shouldn't be doing any of that shit. We should be doing everything here. The reason why we're not doing it here is because we allow these companies to take this shit from here and outsource it to another fucking country. We need to stop that shit all across the board. Sunflower oil is inflammatory. Is it? I didn't know that. Another of the beef comes from out of the U.S. Yeah, now most of our beef comes from here in the United States, but yes, we do get some from out of country. Some, not a lot, not enough to make a difference. Let's put it like that. But if we don't increase our cattle, pigs, and chickens, being that chickens are infected with this bird flu, who the fuck knows? But if we don't increase any of this shit, then we're definitely going to see a bad fucking time next year when it comes to meat. So with meat, guys, that's why I tell people vacuum seal it and freeze it, throw it in your freezer, and hope for the best, right? Because it's going to get fucking ugly with the with meats, at least here. And we're going to see a couple of other fucking problems as well. Now, Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival did a live stream earlier, and he said him and Livingston, man, they talked about it. And they said there was conflicting reports. You have one report saying that we're going to face food crisis. Then you have another report saying no such thing, that we're okay. So, again, guys, conflicting reports. But why is it conflicting reports? Because they don't want the masses to fucking panic. Now, we are not panicking. We don't do that shit. We take this information in, and then we analyze it, and we go, all right, well, if this is going to happen, I'm going to do this. If that's going to happen, I'm going to do that. Right? We're gonna figure out our way out of a lot of this shit. We're gonna figure out our way out of as much as we possibly can. Right? As much as we humanly can. Sorry. So with that, yes, Steve, the face diapers are coming back here in New York. It seems it. I fucking have this feeling it's coming back. It's gonna come back with a fucking vengeance. And then they're gonna be like, and by the way, we want you people to put 2 on your face or some crazy shit like that. Whatever. With that, guys, yeah, don't panic. Just prepare. That's all we can do. When the shoe drops, if it's that bad, then you panic. That shit comes later. Right now, we keep preparing. Yeah, and you know, again, guys, you know, some of the YouTube channels out there, you know, again, getting out of hand. You know, you got 48 hours to live. Your dick's gonna fall off. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, like there's just too many fucking weird. You know, like videos like, oh my God, this is the worst news ever, and they're rubbing their head, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Then you hear the video, and you're like, you motherfucker, you wasted 20 minutes of my fucking time watching this shit. So I'm done watching a lot of those videos. I do my own research. I know that shit is getting worse in Ukraine. We all know that. It's not going to get any better. It's not going to turn around, and all of a sudden, we're going to wake up tomorrow morning, and Putin and what you call it are going to have a kumbaya moment. This shit isn't happening. This shit's only going to get worse. Either the United States or NATO's going to provoke Russia, or Russia's going to provoke NATO, you know, Ukraine's going to provoke Russia. Somebody's going to be poking somebody in the ribs. With that, guys, it's on. And it's only going to get worse. And, you know, to sit there every day and watch the same video about the same shit, you know? Yeah, I mean, like, listen, we should be, according to a lot of these YouTubers, guys, we should have been dead 3 weeks ago. We should have been dead. We all should have been nuked, glowing in the dark. Guys, yes, a nuclear war is most likely going to happen. All right? Follow him, says Johnny Depp update, please. It's just a matter of time. Could they be posturing? Yes. But I don't think this posturing. I think that we are building up to this nuclear moment. And it's just a matter of time, guys. Now, that being said, guys, in the 80s and the 70s, our parents, for a lot of us at the same age, our parents worried about nuclear war as well. We remember growing up and all of those nuclear war movies in the 70s. Daryl Calhoun. Listen, all I'm gonna say about this is he's right about what? The same shit that he's been reporting, the same shit that you or I could read. That doesn't make him right. He's just reading the same shit. We know that we're going in that direction. It's not new. It's not surprising. It's not, oh my god, it's on. We all know that it's going in this direction. This is not fucking, this is not detective work. It don't take a detective to know that this is the direction. The direction we're going is going to be bad. He and not that he's right, but many preppers have said the same shit. He's going to, like, Business Insider, whatever the fuck he's reading, and he's just pretty much reading the movements of what's going on overseas. He's narrating what's happening overseas. We know that it's gonna fucking, it's going to happen, right? It's just what it is, guys. I'm not. You know what? Fuck it. I can care less. It's nothing new, guys. That's all I'm gonna say. Fucking saying the same shit every day. Oh God, they're moving missiles and they're putting them in an upright position. Okay, so the fuck what? We knew they were gonna do that. That's not a surprise. Sitting there talking about, oh, they're poking the Russian bear, and the United States is poking the Russian bear, and that's gonna lead to World War III, and we're all gonna glow in the dark and eat spam. I'm like, all right, we fucking know that. Minus the spam part. But we all fucking know that. It's not new shit, guys. Canadian Prepper, Full Spectrum Survival, these guys are not fucking fortune tellers. Right? All they do is they read the news and they amplify it a little bit. And in some cases, the shit is worrying, but we know that this is going to happen. So it's nothing that they're saying, guys, that's fucking new or secret. It's not a secret. I know a lot of these channels, and I'm not saying Canadian Prepper, but I know a lot of other channels, they're trying to make it like it's a secret. They're trying to make it like, yo, I got some information for you guys. I found this online. But I'm not going to tell you where, but I'm going to read it to you. And when I read it to you, I'm going to scare the shit out of you. But by the way, man, don't forget to hit my store because I got enough supplies to make sure you survive the apocalypse. All right, guys? Enough already with the shit. We all know where the fuck is going. It's just ending up bad. That's all it's going to go. That's where we are. It's going to end up bad. You know how bad it's going to end up? What the fuck was I looking at? I was reading an article. In this article, guys, let's see if I can find it real quick. Because I know I saved it. Oh, okay, yes. Here's the article. The article is asking, what happens if a meteor that is 119 kilometers long or wide smashes into Earth? This is an article that comes out. I'm like, you kidding me? A fucking a meteor that size, 119 kilometers, is roughly 73 miles. If it smashes into Earth, we're all dead. Doesn't matter what fucking happens next. I don't give a fuck if it cracks the Earth in two. We're all dead. It's going to pulverize the planet. We're all dead. And the likeliness of a meteor that size approaching Earth is going to fuck up a lot of shit before it even hits us. And when it hits us, whatever side it hits us on, everybody's evaporated anyway. Right? It was just the dumbest article I read. I'm like, it doesn't matter. We're all dead. No, it's not it's just a stupid article I came across. I'm like, who cares what a fucking 119 kilometer comet is going to do to this planet? We're dead. Yes, by the way, the Angry Prepper store is coming soon. But no, it's not coming. I'm not doing a store. That's stupid. It's stupid to do a store in this day and age. It would have been smart of me to do a store years ago, but now it's too late. Because with all of this shit going on, guys, like I said before, fuck donations, fuck all of that shit. Get yourself whatever the fuck you need and get more of it. Some of you people are going to be like, well, I got everything. No, the fuck you don't. Keep fucking buying shit. Keep buying shit, guys. And that's all you can do. Yes, Tanya, right? You sit down and drink whiskey. Well, right, if something like that comes out and hits us, yeah, that's all you can do. You really can't, But, yeah, guys, it's we all know it's going to get bad. We all know it's headed in that direction. Somebody's going to use a nuke. Now, the bigger part of the nuclear attack, and this is the bigger question, because even nuclear experts are not quite sure, guys. But if there is a nuclear attack, how far is that nuclear attack going to go? Some people say that everybody's going to launch and it's going to be an all-out war. And some people say it's going to be a tit for tat until someone taps out, and then a new regime will will rise out of those fucking smoke, or that ash, if you will. So again, we don't know how bad it's going to get. I know a lot of people seem to think they know how bad it's going to get, but no. No one knows how bad it's going to get. No one knows exactly what's going to happen with a nuclear bomb or nuclear holocaust, standoff, whatever you want to call it. Nobody knows. If anybody tells you how bad it's going to be, or they know exactly what's going to happen, they are full of dick shit. Because there is no fucking way a YouTuber on here is going to tell you, I know exactly what's going to happen. Then he's full of shit. Matter of fact, if he tells you that, just fucking click the off button. That's it. That and fucking bounce. We don't know, guys. This is all, as of right now, according to the internet, we should have all been bombed 8 times over. Right? So, again, guys, be careful where you get your fucking news from. Don't get me wrong. Those prepper channels I mentioned, again, Canadian Prepper and Full Spectrum Survival, the news that they read is pretty interesting, because you're like, okay, there's some shit happening in China. There's this movement happening there. That's good shit. But to fucking segue it into fucking we're going to die, yeah, well, that's fucking pretty bad, man. Anyway, with that being said, guys, I'm going to go off now. I'm going to get ready for the Angry Truths channel. Yes, I have another one. The Angry Truths channel. For those of you that want to follow me over there, you're more than welcome to follow me over there. For those of you that don't, good night. And I will see you guys Thursday night with Angry Homesteader. All right, guys. Other than that, thank you for watching. Hit the like button on your way out. Thank you.